Good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss about coordination compounds. So here a competitive part we are going to discuss, that is GE NEET synopsis part today we are going to discuss. So coordination compounds, already we know the compounds are of two types. So we have addition compounds and coordination compounds. So addition compounds are nothing but any two simple compounds, any two simple stable compounds you are going to add. So that is what called as it will be forming an new product, and that is what called addition compounds. So two simple stable compounds will be added together to form a compound, and that compound is called as the addition compound. So that addition compound it has been categorized into two sections. So first one is we have double salts, and the second one is coordination compounds. This is just an brief revision of the theory. So double salts, what are double salts? We'll take up some examples and then we'll discuss. Double salts are nothing but we have a few examples. We'll take up first carnallite. What is carnallite? Carnallite is KCl dot MgCl2 dot 6H2. Second one, we'll take up potash alum. Potash alum, it is K2SO4 Al2SO4 thrice 24H2. Next, one more example we can take, that is we'll take up with an the most important and most frequently you have you have come across with this one, that is ferrous ammonium sulfate, FAS or ferrous ammonium sulfate. So we can write the formula as FeSO4 NH4 twice SO4 dot 6H2. These are the few examples of double salts. Coordination compound, any coordination compound we can take it. So we'll take an example of CuSO4 being added with ammonia, NH3 dot H2. This will be converted as Cu NH3 4 times SO4 dot H2. So here observe properly. So carnallite, in this it has been prepared by KCl and MgCl2. It has been the addition of KCl and MgCl2. Like potash alum, K2SO4 and Al2SO4 thrice. We have added this one. This compound has been formed. Here also same thing. FeSO4 and ammonium sulfate. It has been added together. We got that product. Likewise, when you add CuSO4 and ammonia, you got this product. This is a coordination compound. What is the difference between these two is, if this is dissociated, if this undergoes ionization, then this forms K plus Cl minus Mg2 plus Cl minus, and this one is K plus SO4 2 minus Al3 plus SO4 2 minus, like that. But when you dissociate this one, this will dissociate into SO4 2 minus, this whole thing as it is with plus 2 charge. So that is what. So when you dissociate, it doesn't dissociate into its ions. The first part, the coordination, this is called coordination entity. The coordination entity remains as it is, and the outer part is called as counter ion, which is going to dissociate to form ions. I hope it is clear. So this is what double salt and coordination compound. So double salt will be having its original nature as it is. So even it is forming a new product, but still the original original nature will remain. But here the nature of the ion is going to change. Actually in this it is going to form, if CuSO4 is dissociated, it will give rise to Cu2 plus SO4 2 minus. But here it is not dissociating in that form. That means that, so it is not retaining its, once if the coordination compound is formed, it is not retaining its original property. So that is what coordination compound is. So next we have a few things easily we can recall. The same complex I am writing it here. Cu NH3 4 times and SO4. So already we come across with the ions we have written. So it is 2 plus, it is 2 minus. What are all these? Quickly we'll recall. This is central metal ion. Here it is ion. So it may be ion or it may be atom also. So what are these called? NH3 are called as ligands. What are ligands? Ligands are nothing but it may be negatively charged. Ligands may be negatively charged, or it may be positively charged, or it may be neutral atom, molecule or ion. It may be atom, it may be ion, or it may be molecule also. But it should have a ability to donate a pair of electron. If it donates a pair of electron to the central metal atom and form a bond with it, then that ion, molecule or atom is called as a ligand. So what is this 4 indicates? 4 indicates about the coordination number. So this indicates coordination number. What is coordination number? Coordination number is nothing but so it is the number of coordinate bond. So many different definitions we have. So number of coordinate bonds formed by the ligand with the central metal atom, or it might be it might be ion also. So when you say that coordination number, when you are saying that it is coordination number, so coordination number may be number of coordinate bond. So coordinate bond will be, or the number of coordinate bond what we are considering, it will be sigma bond itself. So many a times it may happen like, so it may also form the pi bond also. So the ligands, like if at all, if the ligands are CO, Cn minus, or even it might be N2. CO, Cn minus or N2. So these not in all the cases. It may form with some metals or in some complexes it may form pi bond also. So all these will be forming sigma as well as pi bond also. With the central metal atom. But coordination number is completely, it is the number of sigma bonds itself. So here we are not going to consider about the pi bonds. Okay, so this is this one point you should remember properly. So ligands, so the number of coordinate bonds formed by the ligands with central metal atom, and the bond will be sigma type of bond itself. So coordination number we have written, charge we have written, and we'll come across to one more thing. So whatever the charge is there, so here NH3 is a neutral ligand, so the charge on the complex is nothing but, so NH3 is a neutral ligand, so charge on the complex is nothing but charge on the central metal atom. So what is this, and what plus 2 indicates? This plus 2 of Cu2 plus also indicates about the oxidation number. Oxidation number of a central metal atom. So if at all, if the ligand is charged one, then based upon that one we are going to calculate the charge of central metal atom also. And what is that? SO4 2 minus we have. So SO4 2 minus, it is nothing but it is the counter ion. It is nothing but it is counter ion. So the counter ion is used to, it is nowhere related or nowhere bonded with a complex there, but the counter ion is utilized or it is used to nullify the charge on the complex. So whatever the charge is there, based upon that, so to nullify that one, the oppositely charged ions are used, and those are called as counter ions. So here, if at all, if this is a positively charged complex, then the complex is called as cationic complex and negative counter ion will be used. Likewise, if the complex is a negative complex, then positively charged counter ions will be used. Those positively charged counter ions will be written first and then followed by the coordination entity. This bracket, inside the bracket, we have what a central metal atom, we have a ligands, and this bracket part we are going to call that one as coordination entity. This is nothing but coordination entity. So this is the general representation of coordination compound. So this is what we have discussed, and this is all related to theoretical part. So slightly we'll move on to a few other things also, few extra things apart from NCERT. That is, we have discussed about chelation there, or chelating effect. Chelation is nothing but when a donor atom, ligand. So ligands are also called as donors, because ligands are the one which donates a pair of electrons to the central metal atom. And that is what the atom, whatever is there in the ligand, which donates the pair of electron. So that is called a ligating atom or donor atom. If the ligand consists of more than two or more than donor atoms, then they are called as polydentate ligands. Chelation. So chelation is we have a polydentate ligand, and that polydentate ligand, so it is going to form an bond-like structure. It is going to form an it is going to form a bond with the central metal atom, and that give rise to an ring-like structure, and that is what called chelation. So here is an ligand I am writing. So observe. So we have a ligand. So on each nitrogen we have a lone pair, and these lone pairs will be donated to the central metal atom. These lone pairs will be donated to the central metal atom. So we have one donor nitrogen, one more. How many donor atoms are there, or how many ligating sites are there? These are called ligating sites. The 4 nitrogens are called ligating sites, and it is nothing but it is tetradentate. It is tetradentate ligand. Tetradentate ligand. Dentate or denticity is nothing but number of ligating atoms. Tetra is 4. So 4 ligating atoms, 4 donor atoms are present in the ligand, and that is what called denticity. So that also we have discussed. So what is the name of this one? The name of this one is triethylene. Triethylene, you can make out. So 3 CH2 groups. CH2 bond to CH2. This is called ethylene. CH2 bond to CH2. This is what called ethylene. So triethylene tetramine. 4 NH2, 4 nitrogen NH groups are there. Tetramine. So triethylene tetramine, it is also been abbreviated. So amine. So 2 A's are there. Triene. We are going to abbreviate this one as triene. We'll write one complex. How it is going to form a chelation also we shall see. So it is platinum, we'll continue with this side. So this is what just a minute, this is what the end, we can write here NH2, here NH2. This is what our end is. So I hope you can make out. So 1, 2, 3. So 3 sides, 1, 2 and 3. 3 sides we have triethylene groups, tetramine in between the chain, and it is end of the chain. So this also is donating, this also is donating, this also donating, this also donating. 4 coordinate bond it is forming, and you can observe over here, this is an ring formation around the central metal atom. A ring is formed, and that is what called chelation is. That is what called chelation, and the ligand is called as chelating ligand. So we name that one as a chelating ligand. I hope it is clear. So the theoretical part we have already discussed about the important characteristics of chelates and all we have discussed. Next we'll move on to the new thing that is the flexidentate ligand. So we have next one as flexidentate. So what is this flexidentate ligand is? We have certain ligands. We have certain ligands like SO4 2 minus, CO3 2 minus, and a few ligands are there. These are the examples of flexidentate ligands. So in with one metal, so it will be acting as a monodentate. That means that it is going to donate only one pair of electron. Or with only one donor atom, it will be ligating through the central metal atom. But in another complex or with another metal atom, it will be donating 2, or it will be having 2 donor atoms, or it will be donating 2 pair of electrons it will be donating. So that type of ligands are called as flexidentate ligand. Let us take an example. So we have cobalt. So ammonia, NH3, this is what the complex is. So here donor atoms or ligands you can observe. 5 NH3 groups are there. One as SO4 2 minus ligand. So through oxygen it is ligating. Only one donor site it has. So the next complex will take up. So in the next complex, so it is acting as CO3 plus. Just a minute. Write it. NH3. Here it is oxygen. You can observe here SO4 2 minus, it is only ligating with only one oxygen. It is donating. Same cobalt, NH3 groups are present. So it is donating and with through only one oxygen it is. That means that it is monodentate here. Monodentate ligand here. But here through 2 oxygen atoms it is ligating. So we can call that one as it is a bidentate here. It is a bidentate ligand. Bidentate ligand. So that means that, so in one of the complex it is acting as monodentate, and in another complex it is acting as bidentate. Such kind of ligands which show variable denticity in different complexes. It may be with the same metal or it may be with the different metals also. So different complexes, different denticity if it shows, then such kind of ligands are called as flexidentate ligands. I hope it is clear. Flexidentate ligands are ligands which shows variable denticity in different complexes are called flexidentate ligands. Coordination number. So coordination number can be calculated by using coordination number is equals to denticity, that is how many bonds it is going to form with that number of ligands. So if at all, if one ligand is going to form two bonds with the complex, then suppose if it is an bidentate ligand or a didentate ligand. So if it is an didentate ligand, then each ligand will be forming two, that is denticity of that ligand is 2. So 2 bonds it can form. Then coordination will be, so denticity is 2, and suppose if it has 3 ligands of such, then we can say that the coordination number of central metal atom is 6. Like that, it is denticity, how many number of bonds each ligand can form, so or how many number of donor atoms it has. So we have a certain metals grouped together with different coordination number. So we'll write it that one, that is the central metal serial number. Central metal, either it may be atom or it may be ion with that coordination number. With that coordination number we shall write first one. So if it is Ag plus, if Ag in +1 state, then remember always its coordination number will be 2 itself. Likewise, we have second one, it is Hg2 plus. If it is Hd2 plus, it has 3 as well as 4. The coordination number will be 3 as well as 4 there. Next, third one, we have many ions for this. So it is Cu2 plus, platinum 2 plus, Ni2 plus, Mn2 plus, palladium 2 plus, Zn2 plus, and nickel with a 0 oxidation state. So in all these cases, the coordination number will be 4. For all of them, the coordination number is 4. Next, fourth one, if it is CO2 plus, then it will be showing 4 as well as 5 coordination number. 4 as well as 5. Next, fifth one, if iron in 0 oxidation state, coordination number is 5. So if at all, if it is Fe2 plus, Fe3 plus, it is very important. Cobalt in 2 plus different, in 3 plus different. So platinum +2 as well as +4, both oxidation states are possible, but both are different. Chromium 3 plus and 0, Ni2 plus, we have iridium 3 plus. All this will be showing the coordination number 6 itself. Likewise, we have seventh one, that is molybdenum 4 plus, coordination number is 7. And we have eighth one, tungsten with +4, coordination number 8. So we have these ions with their oxidation, with their different oxidation states and the coordination numbers. So we shall move on to the next part. Next is nomenclature. So nomenclature of nomenclature of coordination compounds, that is a very important concept. So in this nomenclature of coordination compounds, the remaining things whatever is there, we have discussed everything in our theoretical class, theory class itself. So apart from that, the other things I will discuss, that is bridging ligand. So we have a bridging ligand. So what are these bridging ligands we shall discuss. Bridging ligands are nothing but few ligands are there. So those ligands will be acting as a monodentate ligand. Those ligands will be acting as a monodentate ligand. But in few cases, so it will be acting as it will be forming a bond with the two different complexes. It will be acting as a bridge kind. So that is what called a bridging ligand. So don't get confused with amphidentate ligand and bridging ligand. Amphidentate is different. So I'll explain that one also. So bridging ligand, we'll take up an example over here. So we have an example, NH3 5 times. It is CO, OH, CO, NH3 5 times. So this is one complex. This is one part. And this is another part. This is our ligand. We have OH our ligand. OH as our ligand. NH3 is also ligand. Here OH is acting as a bridging ligand. OH is acting as a bridging ligand. Ligand which bounds two or more central atoms simultaneously. And it is giving rise to an polynuclear complex. What is this polynuclear complex? Polynuclear is nothing but it has two central metal atoms. This is one complex and this is one more complex. That is, it has one central metal atom. So central metal atom is nothing but nucleus of the complex. That is what called a nucleus of the complex. So here this is one central metal. Here one more central metal. So two different two central metal atoms are there. So that's why it is called as polynuclear complexes. So what is bridging ligand? So the ligand which bounds two or more central atoms simultaneously giving rise to a polynuclear complexes are called bridging ligands. So these bridging ligands, so it may not be always the separate one or a different one. It may be the similar ligands whichever is involved in the complexes also may be possible. So we'll write down those also. So few other examples you can observe here. So it is platinum. Cl is, so it is acting as a bridge. This Cl is bonded to this platinum also and it is bonded to this platinum also. Likewise, this Cl bonded to this platinum as well as it is bonded to this platinum. So this is PET3, that is nothing but triethyl phosphine. That is what the ligand, triethyl phosphine. The remaining are Cl minus. Likewise, we have one more complex. So it is not different. It is carbonyl group, CO group. So it is similar. It is same as ligand also as well as bridging ligand also it is. Okay. So like in first case where we have written, so that is bridging ligand, we have come across with OH minus and the ligands are NH3 groups here. So it is not like that. So it may be like that also. It can be different also. So these are the CO. So here three carbonyl groups are simultaneously bonded to both the iron here. So if you check this one, this iron if you check, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means that, so the coordination number of this iron is 6 and the coordination number of this iron is 6 again. So 3 this side, 3 this side. So 6 bonds it is forming. But among these 3 CO groups are common here. So these 3 CO groups or 3 ligands are nothing but bridging ligands. We have few more examples like that. N2, NH2, NH2, OH minus, NH2 minus, NH2 minus, O2 minus, Cl minus, SO4 2 minus and NO2 minus. So all these are nothing but bridging ligands. It may be acting as monodentate in the other complexes, but simultaneously it can bind two different complexes together, or simultaneously it can form a coordinate bond with the two different metal atoms. So those ligands are called as bridging ligands. The name of this one will be starting with an mu. It is going to start with an Greek letter mu it is. So how we are going to write the name for this one is, suppose we'll consider this complex. We'll consider this first complex. So we have two bridging chlorine we have. Two bridging chlorine we have. So we are going to name that one as a di for 2. Then mu indicates a bridging. So the ligand name we are going to write next. Before the ligand name, if mu is in mu is shown, that means that the ligand whatever is there, that is acting as a bridge. Okay, so mu di indicates 2 we have. So mu chlorido. Chlorido. Next, so we need to name now the complex part. We have named the bridge part now. Now we need to name the complex part here. So the complex part, what it consists of? The complex part is platinum. We have platinum, then chlorine, and then triethyl phosphine. So triethyl phosphine. These things we need to name now. So if you check here, this side also we have the same platinum, chlorine, and triethyl phosphine. This side also platinum, chlorine, and triethyl phosphine only is left. So both the things are same. So in the name itself already tri is there. So in the ligand name itself already tri is there. So that's why we can write that one as a bis outside, not as a di. We are going to name that one as a bis. Next, so which are the ligands? We have triethyl phosphine and chloro. So according to alphabetical order, chloro will come first. So that's why it is chloro, triethyl phosphine, platinum, platinum 2 it is. Platinum 2. So how to calculate this oxidation number? Already we know in our theory we have discussed. So with the help of the complexes, so we can calculate the with the help of the charges on the complexes, we can easily calculate the oxidation number. So we can name in this form. So we'll try to name this one also. We have carbonyl group. Everything is same there. So how many carbonyl groups are used as a bridge over here? So we have 3 carbonyl groups which have been used as a bridge. So that is tri. We can write that one as tri. Then mu, because they are bridged ligands. So what is the name of the ligand? It is carbonyl. Carbonyl. Now this part is named. We need to name only this one. So this side also Fe3CO. This side also Fe3CO. Since in the ligand we don't have any di or tri. Suffixes we don't have. Prefixes we don't have. So in the ligand, so that's why directly we can write after this bridging one. We can write that one as how many we have. So we have 2 such types. So that has been named as a bis. Next, how many carbonyl groups we have? So 3 carbonyl groups each side. 3 carbonyl groups. So we can write that one as tricarbonyl. Iron it is. Iron O. Iron 0 it is. So 0, that is 0 is the oxidation state of iron. So that is what the name of this complex it is. So this is a bridged complex. So we'll take a few more example for bridged ligands and we'll discuss in our next class.